and you say Chi-City and around the world. I am the Kid Rod Allen, and this is another episode of Chicago's Intellectuals Podcast. And today we have Kayla Leroy. Kayla, what's up?
Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
Yes, so Kayla, let's jump right into it. You from Chicago. What area did you grow up in?
79th over there by Cottage Grove, the block off Cottage Grove.
Oh, wow.
79th in Maryland.
So how was your childhood?
Childhood, it was fine, you know. Had moms, had grams. Pops weren't really in the picture. I had some male role models around though. I had my uncles and a few of my mom's friends, but you know, childhood was cool. I'm the only child, just me. I'm my mom's only child, so she ain't want to have no more kids after me. So it's just me and her. I got a big family though, so it's never really like I had that only child experience. Like I always grew up around my cousins and all that, so I ain't never lived in the house by myself with just me and my mom. So it was never really like you're the only child. Never really got to experience the whole only child thing.
So you never got to experience only child syndrome, because that's a real thing.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah,
that's a real fucking thing. What schools did you go to growing up?
I went for preschool. I went to Joni's right on 79th, and then from Joni's I went to Robert A. Black. I went to the same school, K through 8th. I went to Robert A. Black. That's on 91st and Jeffrey. I went to Magnet School. My mom, she wanted to get me out of the neighborhood. She didn't want me to go to my neighborhood school, which was Arthur Ashe. That was on 86th and Ingleside. She didn't want me to go there, so she got me in Robert A. Black.
So I remember when we first met, like shortly after we first met, I remember you challenged me to a basketball game. And then, you know, a little bit later on, I heard that as you were coming up, you were sort of like a basketball star or whatever.
Yeah, I love basketball. That was a big part of my childhood, my life, all the way up until high school. When I got to college, I really just stopped with the ball. I didn't really pursue it like I should have. But, you know, life get in the way. You go through stuff and you just don't want to, it ain't just the same no more. So I still play for fun and stuff, but it's not like on that organization level, just for fun.
So they told me, they said her jumper was wet. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I never saw you play. So I was just like, her jumper was wet. She kind of like reserved and laid back. But those be the ones sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Growing up on 79th Street, though, can be challenging. It can be rough, you know? So how did you navigate the ills of the community, the neighborhood? Because we know a lot of people fall victim, right? So how did you navigate that?
Honestly, I just was focused, man. My mama, she really was a good parent. She really was there in my life. A lot of parents, they not there in their kids' life, and that's why they go out and do stuff and get into streets and stuff they don't have no business doing. But my mom, like, she ain't play that. Like, she ain't even want to let me go on the front sometimes. Like, it was just backyard. Like, and I was cool with that because I was just so in love with basketball. That was my main focus. Like, and she encouraged me to play. She always put me in stuff. So it was never like I had free time on my hand. That's the thing. She always made sure I was doing something. So I never really had time to go in the streets. Like, yeah, I had plenty of friends and stuff, but I wasn't really into that. Like, I had a whole neighborhood. My mom would tell you, I had a whole neighborhood in my backyard. Like, they'd be there when I wasn't there sometimes. So that got on her nerves. Like, she ain't like that because the whole neighborhood, I mean, kids from down the block, around the corner, all used to be in my backyard just trying to hoop. But I'm glad they had that. Some of them still fell down the wrong path. Some of them passed away still to this day, but it's still like, you know, if they would have stayed, if they would have had that parent, somebody in their life pushing them to do that, it could have been different. But me, basically, I thank my mom and my grandma and the family I had. Like, I had a big family, so I really wasn't into trying to go out and make friends and stuff. A lot of people don't come from big families. You know, I'm just blessed to have it because a lot of people don't come from that. So I'm just blessed to have it for real, man, because that's really what it is.
Yeah, so I don't know if you realize, but I was kind of like that in my neighborhood, and especially when I became an adult and I started the youth program early on and stuff like that. But when you say that you went, you know, in the neighborhood and you would have these gatherings of your friends and people from the neighborhood hooping in the backyard. I don't know if you know, but that's leadership skills. That's like the glue. Yeah. You know, that's like you know, I know that my mom, you know, has me engaged in activities to keep me out of trouble or whatever, or to stop me from getting distracted. And then you extended that to the neighborhood. Like, that's real, right?
Yeah, and growing up, I really ain't even see it that way. You know, I'm just being myself. I'm just being who I am. And a lot of people gravitated towards that. Like, I'm telling you, I can't make this up. It was people every day, new faces every day. And I just embraced everybody. We had block club parties. We did a lot. They'd come knocking on my door. My mama had to come outside and say, that's it. Y'all gotta go. Y'all can't come over here. Like, it was really like that. Like, everybody knew it was time to go. My mama yelled my name, Kayla, loud, the whole block. So it was like, man, I miss those days. Like, I used to be mad sometimes when she used to do that, though, just put me on blast. And it's time for you to come in the house, and you feel me? They still outside. Well, we finna leave here. They'll stay there all the way until they had, you feel me, nowhere else to go. So it was like, I ain't really see that until I'm really growing up and realizing, like, my house was probably that house that people could just come be a kid. You know, you grow up so fast in the world and you can't really be a kid when you come from where you come from.
Yeah. So now as an adult, would you consider yourself like the glue of the family? Like, you know, I'm noticing you're the one right now who's, you know, we're gonna get into it a little bit later, about to graduate from college and interning and doing a lot of different things, pursuing your life's goals. So would you consider yourself the glue of the family somewhat?
Yeah, I really do try to keep everybody together and try to keep everybody focused, because our family, they want to be divided so bad, you know, like they don't want to be close. Like, it's some of them into it right now, petty stuff. Like, and if something happens to one of them the next day, oh, I'm crying, I miss my love, my family. So get over whatever that little small minor issue is. You can overcome that. You can get over that. And that's your family. This ain't no person on the street. We grew up in a family, a big house, everybody at grandma's house, sleeping on the floor, making pallets. We all over there. My grandma got 7 kids. Well, now she don't got 7, but she had 7 kids, and 5 of them all had kids of their own. So that's a big family. And not talking about her brother, my great cousins and all that, is just so many of us. So it's like, I know all my family members. That's crazy. My uncle had recently passed away, and we had a memorial or whatever, and all the family came. And I was introducing some of my family members to other family members. And they was like, everybody know Kayla. And it was crazy. That was funny to me, because I just put myself out there to all my family. I just want them to know, like, we ain't got to be the closest cousins, but you can call on me whenever you want to do something. I'm down for whatever. I'm open-minded. I'm outgoing. Whatever they want to do, if I could do it, I'm down. Like, let's do it. Life's too short, and we lost too many people, and people don't have what we have, so we got to embrace it.
So that basically describes the glue of the family in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to keep them together, man. I'm trying to get everybody to be great, because I don't want to leave nobody behind, you know.
Yeah, that's
it's all about bringing people up with you. That's the problem with Black people now. We don't bring each other together. Yeah. I'm gonna start with my family first, and then work my way around, you know.
And you born and raised in Chicago, right?
Born and raised. I never lived nowhere else in Chicago except when I went to, you know, to college and stuff, but I always come back home.
Yeah. So I just wanted to state that for the world, because, you know, there's a different narrative that's always promoted, right? So,
yeah, you know, they think it's all bad and violence, and it is that. Don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of love and community here. Like, people love each other.
No doubt. So, where'd you get your mindset though? as a young person, for you to have that mindset, it's kind of like a mature mindset. I mean, of course, you know, we're all still learning, even with me being you, we're still learning, but you know, some people your age just don't have that mindset. Where did you get that mindset?
Honestly, I had to just thank my grandma and my mama. Really, like, if it wasn't for them, I don't even know. Like, if I would have had, like, I'd be trying to picture my life would have been different if it would have just been probably my mama and my dad. You know, me and my grandma. Like, I feel like I would have lost a lot. You know. I feel like I would have lost a lot because my mama would have been so focused and trying to focus on a relationship instead of, you know, her focus was purely on me. You feel me? It wasn't no man in the picture. Like, she only cared about me. So it was really like I got all her attention. Everything she poured it into me. My mom, a very intelligent woman. Everything she knows, she poured it into me. And I gravitated to it, you know, and just on my own, just learning, because I'm not like my mom in so many ways. In so many ways we alike, but in so many ways we different, you know. But it's like she more the and I'm more the laid back, like you said, reserved. Like I don't know, I just sit back and watch and observe, and I just see what I don't want to be like, and then I look at what I do want to be like, and that's what I try to, write stuff down. I like to read, I like to watch stuff. I never turn my nose up at nothing. Like I want to be, I just want to be open-minded. Everything you can learn something from. You able to grow and learn something from every experience of life. I'm a real spiritual person. Like I feel like everything is connected. Like nothing is a coincidence. I really feel like that. Like even me and you having this conversation right now, like that's not a coincidence. All this is supposed to happen. Like you just in charge of your own destiny for real. And that's just how I got that mindset. I just try to see what I don't want to be like and just don't do that stuff, and see the qualities I do like, and I want to be like that. This is what I want to do. And I want to be better,
Yeah. So I'm listening to what you're saying, and it's very important. And I'm so glad that you're saying it, because, there are people your age who probably admire you, or, they might see this and look up to you, and they can kind of take some of this in. But I'm going to tell you, me, myself, in this life right now, at this stage in my life, I really treasure like babies and elderly people.
Me too.
And that's because of what you just said. It's like, you look and you see what you want to be like and what you don't want to be like. Like 12, from the age 12 to 64, it's like that chunk of people seems to be worried about what the world think about them. And
yes,
that creates a stumbling block for you to be successful, right? But 12 and under and 64, 65 and older, those people will tell you the absolute truth. Like your little cousin Stevie, he'll tell you the absolute truth.
The truth about
like
everything. And that's why I love kids, man. Right. I love them. You always see me with my little cousins, and I'll watch them anytime, like they my own kids, because that's where it starts. It starts when you young. And when you see people who good people, that's who you want to be like. So I try to start it off young. I try to show them you can still be cool and go to school. You can still be cool and have friends. It ain't about robbing, stealing, trying to fit in. Like, nah, it's not about that. And people get lost and caught up in this world and trying to be something they not, and trying to just fit in with people instead of being a natural born leader. Like, you don't always have to follow after people. Just have your own mind, but people not strong enough to stand on their own too all the time because of their upbringing. You feel me? So it really started at home. So that's why I really try with the young kids, start them off early. Like bring them over here to me, show them organization, show them how to clean up after themselves, show them stuff that they not used to. They always hear music, they always dance. That's cool. I'm not knocking nothing against that, but read them a book, take them out to a museum. Show them something different, because they always gonna see the music and the videos and all that. That's always gonna be thrown in their face. But books and museums and learning about your ancestors and your culture, like that's stuff that we miss. Like that's stuff that people think is lame and stuff, and it's not. Like you need that. Like that's how you are who you are. You understand all the sacrifices people before you made, and you just want to live up to that. You want to, because we ain't always had these opportunities. So you just look back like, dang, people really went through this, and we up here living it up free. Like none of that happens. So people lose sight of that, man. They really do. And I just always try to keep that in the back of my mind when I'm making decisions and just living life, man.
Yeah, those are wise words. Those are very wise words. And it's ironic that you on your Angela Davis thing, and today is Juneteenth. Today is Juneteenth. Like, hey,
yeah, it is Juneteenth today, man.
Yes, it's
Happy Juneteenth. Emancipated today, for real.
Yes. So, what college did you go to, or are you presently attending? When will you graduate, and why did you choose that institution?
Well, currently, let me start from high school. I graduated from this Noble Street school. Mission College Prep is downtown. It was a new school when I first started though. Like we made the class all 4 years, you feel me? So when we got there, they had freshmen, juniors, sophomores, seniors. They had it all. At first, they only had freshman, sophomore, junior. And then when we came, they had seniors. So we made it full. So I really just started off at that school. They came up from the ground. I hated the school. I hated it. It was out my neighborhood. They were strict. I hated it so much. But one thing I can say, they really taught me self-discipline, and they taught me how to, really be on time. They taught you so much stuff because they gave you petty demerits. They gave you detention for everything. And I stayed in trouble. I got suspended every year of high school, every year except for my senior year, every year. Freshman
at least one time. At least one
time I got suspended every year. I just stayed in trouble. Like around this age, I was getting angry. My friends was dying. Stuff was going, it was just fuzzy. Like, and I was young. You know how you is in that 15, 16 stage. Like, you think you know everything. You think life is what it is right now, but it's not. Like, you got so much more ahead of you. And I'm only 23 right now, and I just turned 23, so I still got so much more ahead of me. So after I graduated from Mission in 2016, I didn't know where I was going to go at first. Like I had applied to a whole bunch of colleges, over 14. I think I got accepted to most of them. I don't remember, but I got accepted to the ones I wanted to go to. I really had my brain on going to a HBCU. My mom went to a HBCU. I went to the same HBCU as her. We both she went to Alabama State. I currently go to Alabama State University in Montgomery, Alabama. It's the capital of Alabama or whatever. Yeah, Alabama State is something. I love my school, but it's hard at HBCU, but it's worth it. You feel me? It's worth every piece of knowledge that they give you. You really experience. Like if you ain't really get that experience, like say you live in the suburbs or something, you want to be around Black kids, say you went to a predominantly white high school and stuff, and you wanted to experience that, was perfect for you because you really see how your people are. Just more people like you. Like everybody don't want to be in the streets and go to jail. Like people want knowledge. People want to have good jobs, careers. They want to make something of themselves in this life. Everybody don't want to just be in the streets and die and go to jail.
Real, that's real.
So Alabama State, what drove me to Alabama State? My mom, of course. Not just because she went there, my godmom went there, my auntie went there, and I wanted to go to HBCU. So I said, why not? They already know what it's like. They've been there. So, my mom had some strings pulled, and, she was talking to some people, and I was meeting some people. Like, it was just networking. So, I got in Alabama State. I ended up getting a scholarship. And so my mom, I didn't get a scholarship nowhere else. I mean, a few schools gave me like petty stuff, but it wasn't nothing like my mama saying you could go here because it's enough. We can afford it. We couldn't afford Alabama State, but they worked with me. So I just did it. And I'm glad I made that choice. Like I met a lot of good people at Alabama State. Like Montgomery itself is, but the school, that's a family school. Like, yeah, it's a real big family school. Like they might get on your nerves, but you gotta, if you want something done, they teach you. If you want something done, you gotta get up and do it yourself. Like it's just little stuff like that you won't get at a predominantly white school, like a PWI. You feel me? They gonna make sure everything gonna point. They gonna pacify you. You feel me? They gonna baby you. At HBCU, that really teach you how to stand on your own. Like if you don't come and get this scholarship money, we ain't giving it to you. Right. Like it's going on. You don't want it. Like you gotta claim everything now. You say you want to do this, you better claim it. You better go out there and get it because they're not handing nothing to you. They're not doing nothing extra for you. They'll help you, but you gotta be willing. That's a lot of people probably they're not willing. And I was always willing. Like, I want something better for myself, my life, my family. Like, I always tell God when I'm praying, like, all I want to do is take care of my family. That's it. Like, well, then I'll take everything that come with it. Like,
Yeah.
so
So
I'm
the
doing what I'm doing.
HBCUs, you know, and I hear you. I hear you. I think you gave an excellent description of the intangibles offered by HBCUs, like, and the task as we move into our professional identities and we're in the workforce, especially when we're not entrepreneurs, these little gems are going to pay off because nobody's gonna give you anything once you're in your professional career either. You got to get up and go get it. You have to assert yourself. You know?
Yes.
So they're doing right by you and, you know, kind of holding you accountable. You know, they hold their students accountable, you know, and accountability is high on, you know, their list of requirements in order for you to graduate from there.
Yes.
So I know that you're about to go and intern. Could you tell us a little bit about what you expect your intern experience to be like and what you think you should gain from it?
My internship, I'm really, really, really looking forward to this. I'm not even gonna lie. I just feel like I'm gonna be in a whole different setting and I'm gonna learn so much about myself and so much about people that I need to know. So the internship place I'm gonna be interning at is called the Covenant House and it's in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm not really a big fan of Atlanta, but I'm gonna go down there and see what they're talking about because I like what this program has to offer. They help the homeless youth. You feel me?
Yeah.
They help
Yeah.
troubled youth, not just homeless, troubled people that got disabilities, who and the you know, who prostituting, just all type of stuff, who've been abused, domestic situations. So it's just a different light that I'm about to see. Like I'm really about to meet some people that is really hurt, that's going through pain. And I was talking to, actually when I was doing my interview with the guy, Ty Wiltshire, over the Covenant House, or over the internship program, I guess. I was talking to him and he was like, you know, a lot of their pain and trauma is gonna transfer off to you. Like, and you're gonna learn a lot about yourself. And when he was saying, like, I was already thinking that, like, in the back of my mind, like, these people are broken. Like, I come from so much love. Like, even though it's pain, it's a lot of love. Like, I be meeting people and they don't have no family. Like, they don't know their grandmas, they don't know their aunties and uncles, they don't know their cousins. So when they meet me and I'm talking about all this family, they like, whoa, like you got all this. And I feel just blessed. And I'll be like, dang, people don't got that for real. And I just forget. That's so quick how you can forget because you're not like that. You don't come from that. You're different. So I'm just grateful and blessed that I really have a family that love and care about me and what I do and how I'm living. Like a lot of people don't, they just bring kids into this world and they don't care. And that's just where it's trouble at. So I want to be a part of the change at Covenant House. Like I want the people to feel like they can confide in me. All the teens there, like some of them might be older, most of them might be younger than me. I think it ranges from about 12 to I don't remember the exact age, but around grown years, 20 something. You could still come in there and you could be grown. Like they just help you. They want to make sure. And I read all the reviews on their website. I talked to a lot of people who know about the Covenant House and they just rave about them and say how they do good work with the community. Like that's a good place to go if you trouble. They always gonna help you. It's like a family. I haven't heard anything bad about them. So I'm looking forward to being a part of the family, being a part of the change. I'm just looking forward to all that because that's what I want to do. I want to help people, you know, get through those times.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you'll be a great fit for that work. And like I told you before, you know, I'm a person who lived in Atlanta for a while, but there are some great people in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to give them a chance or whatever. Of course, you know, they have layers of the culture, just like we have layers of the culture here. But you know, because of your personality, there are going to be certain people that's going to gravitate toward you. So I'm not about that. You'll meet some good people while you're there, and if you need to reach out to me, and you know, gain access to some of my resources there, I don't have a problem with that. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm just
So,
really looking forward to that.
So let's move on to some of the Chicago questions. Like, I want you to rank your top 3 Chicago pizzas.
Pizzas. Let's go.
In no particular order.
No particular order. Okay, we gonna go with Giordano's, Italian Fiesta, and margaritas.
Really?
Margaritas. I'm gonna give it to them. I ain't gonna lie. Beggars, I love beggars. I love, but Giordano's pizza is something different. You know, that cheese with that bread and the deep dish, of course, we known for that, but I'm a pizza fan anyways. I love pizza, so it don't even gotta be the best pizza in the world. It's pizza, I'm damn near gonna eat it, you know?
So what about Lou Malnati's? Have you ever heard of Lou Malnati's?
Yeah, Illuminati's. Yeah, I heard of them, yeah. I heard of Illuminati's. I fuck with Illuminati. I didn't forget about them because I don't go there that much.
Okay.
But I had them like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, I fuck with it. I used to go there after school all the time when I used to be in high school downtown. So yeah, it's right there in the heart of downtown, 1 North State Street. Our school is on the 7th floor. So I already just been like, just going to that school right there, like having like to go on the 7th floor in the building, we had to have IDs, lanyards and stuff. If you forget your ID, you ain't getting in the building, you feel me? That's just like a job. If you don't got your necessities, like you can't work. So it was just a lot of stuff that I didn't realize when I was younger that's clicking now. Like, yeah, they was tripping, but they was trying to instill something in me, you know, that was good.
Yeah. So, how did the pandemic affect you and your family?
At first when the pandemic started, I ain't gonna lie, it was real bad, like, cause people just didn't know, you know. And my mom was scared. She had wipes and all type of stuff. They didn't want nobody in the house, and it was just crazy. Like me, I wasn't the big germaphobe, but everybody around me just got so germy and just didn't want nothing nasty around them. They wanted to wear a mask and stuff. Me, I wasn't really all into the hype about COVID because I was really just, it was fake. I was one of those. I ain't gonna lie. I was saying it was fake and they was fooling y'all and stuff. I ain't gonna lie, but that was when it first started. Like when they was like, it's a Chinese disease, it's gonna come over here. I'm getting that. What? Like, y'all get out of here with that, man. Then it really came and it changed our whole world upside down. Like, man, 2020 was a crazy year. That changed the whole world. It's just mind blowing. I still haven't wrapped my mind around it. Like when the anniversary of the looting came back up, but I was just like, damn, we was really out here looting. Like, man, we was really out here looting, acting crazy. They busted in our neighborhoods. Like the world just went wow. Like it was something I never could have imagined. It's something in a textbook that you gonna read 20 years from now. Like it really made history. Like everybody gonna know about 2020 and COVID-19. Like it affected the family, but not as much, you know. We caught it. Some people caught it. I never caught COVID, but people around me caught it. Like I think one of my cousins caught it. One of my mom's friends caught it. Like it was getting bad. Like people was catching it real bad. And I was hoping I didn't catch it because, you know, I got asthma real bad. And I get sick. It's acting up. Like when I had the flu, I had to be in the ICU, like tubed up and stuff. I was messed up. And that was back in 28. When it turned 2018, it was 2017 going to 2018. On New Year's of 2018, I was laying in the hospital bed, tubed up. It was bad. So I was scared of COVID when they were saying it was real. Like, I'm getting that. If I catch this, I might be out of here. Like, y'all ain't gonna be seeing me no more. If the flu did that to me and they saying the disease attacked the respiratory system, then I was scared. So I still wanted to live my life though. So I didn't try to, you know, I didn't let that take over me and be like, you stand in the house. Like I still went out. Like granted, I should have did better with COVID, but I feel like I did good. Look at here, I ain't catch it, so hey. But I could have did. Nobody around me caught it. Like my mom didn't catch it, my granny didn't catch it, and that's just who I was praying wouldn't catch it because I don't want them to have to go through nothing. So that was good. Like, I was glad none of my immediate family like caught it, and but it was tragic that other people, family members, who did, like, people died from it. So it's just really sad, but I'm just blessed and grateful that my family and other people came from under it.
So as you describe your experience with COVID, you mentioned something about like the looting.
Yeah.
And just wrapping, but when you're wrapping your mind around the situation in its entirety, it could be forgotten that at the height of COVID, we had the George Floyd situation because
yes,
looting was about.
Yeah, and that's what the looting
came from. Really, COVID. The looting was about George Floyd.
George Floyd.
It happened at the height
during the pandemic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really like a serious thing, and it was real dangerous because people were out and amongst each other, and there was just a lot of stuff going on, with the police and just in society at large, and just a historical period.
Yes, man. I'm still, like, to this day, like, I think about it damn near every other day. Like, our world really just turned upside down before our eyes. Like, police brutality, it's been a thing, and I feel like it's gonna always be a thing until something is done different for real. It really got to be a real change. Like, the police, they still hiring, they still instilled in the same stuff, slave patrol. Like, it's not that no more. Like, this is 2021. Like, we can't use the same laws we used back when Jim Crow was around and stuff like that. We can't do that. We never gonna grow. We never gonna overcome that. And there's so many white older people stuck in their ways that we can't, and in position, like in the White House, they sentence and they under all the stuff that's important to us. Like, we need to get more colored people, and there's too many old white people in there that's stuck in their ways, and that's not gonna change until our world change for real.
This is really significant. Again, it's Juneteenth, and the United States government just voted to have Juneteenth be a national holiday. And even in the face of all the evidence and in the face of everything that we know that has happened to Black people in history, you still had members of the governmental body who voted against Juneteenth being a national holiday.
And it's because those
right?
old whites in them.
You know what I mean? And you also mentioned, and I'm so glad that you're 23 years old, and you mentioned the fact that, in a nutshell, policing is a direct descendant of slave patrol.
Yes.
Direct descendant of
that's where
until
it
you
comes
overhaul
from.
it, we'll continue to see what we see, because that's the ideology that they're trained by.
Exactly. They need a whole new system. They need something totally. They can't go by those same rules because it's different. It's not the same, but they want to still make it the same. Like, ain't no way. Juneteenth should have been a holiday. Should have been a holiday way before. They just tried to give us this now because of the George Floyd situation. Y'all want to take Aunt Jemima off the pancake box, Uncle Ben. We don't care about all that. Do the necessities. Go and rewrite the whole police, whatever it is, conduct, rewrite it. Burn it, throw it away, start over, get some new people in there. Because until we do that, it's gonna be the same, because that's what it's built upon.
Yeah. So what are you reading? What are you presently reading?
Presently right now, I'm reading The 6 Black Millionaires.
Oh wow.
Show you. Yeah, I'm reading that right now. Interesting book. Let me go get it so I can show it to you. My mom, she got it for me for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
I've been trying to read a little bit more.
Did she also get the Kobe Bryant book for you for Christmas?
Yeah, she did give me that Kobe Bryant book too. I love it. And then she got me the Spook Who Sat by the Door.
Oh yes. I actually know the author of that book. He's from Chicago.
Yeah.
Yes, Greenleaf. His name is Greenleaf.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. After I finish reading this, I'm gonna read that, and I hear excellent things about it. Book review, excellent. And I actually told her that I wanted that book. She just picked the Black Fortunes, but I told her that I wanted this book.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's the story of the first 6 African Americans who survived slavery and became millionaires. Like, it's really, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, like, it's really interesting. Like, it's crazy. Like, one of the ladies in the story, what's her name? She's a lady, she's trying to come up off real estate, but how she started or whatever, her parents, they were slaves and they wanted to give her good schooling. So they moved her with these white people in a different state. And they were supposed to be schooling her, but instead these white mofos had her working, you know? So she used that as her advantage. She like, I'm gonna learn people, you know, I'm gonna learn the networking, I'm gonna learn people. And that's how she learned. She just sat back and watched it in the store and wrote down and learned and observed every person and learned personalities, learned how people are. And that's how, you know, she a talker. She worked her way through stuff. She a hustler. So I just love that about her because I catch myself doing that, just watching people. If you just sit back and observe and don't say nothing, you can learn so much. So when she said that in this book, like when he said that about her, said how she was just sat back and watched people, the human life and how they interact, I was like, oh yeah, she cold. Cause that's what it's all about. It's about who you know, not what you know. It's about what you know, but it's more about who you know in these streets.
So you know, I really like the fact that you don't mind listening because a lot of times that's the issue with the young people, and they have good reason not to listen because a lot of older people be foolish, right?
Yeah.
It's foolery, right? But one of my mentors used to always tell me, listening is very important. And if you don't think so, think about the fact that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Exactly. Think about it.
You
and
know?
when I think I read the 48 Laws of Power, like that's everybody should read that. Like, it's just good information, man, about life and it's just about the human life, about people, about just stories that everything makes sense once you connect it. Once you go through it, you're gonna be like, damn, like that book hit, it touched the spot, it hit right on that. So that's a good book to read too.
Yes. So what kind of music you listening to, Ken? What you listening to?
I love all type of music, man. You'll be surprised what I listen to. Like, people be like, you know this song? I'll be, girl, you'll be surprised what I know. Like, I love the Temptations. That's my favorite movie. Ask my mama. I used to recite it when I was 2 years old. David Ruffin part. Y'all can't do me like this. That, like, I love the Temptations. All old music got a place in my heart for sure. My grandma, my uncles, they all love Marvin Gaye, Al Green, like all of them. Like, I can sit up and listen to old music all day. Anita Baker, Aretha Franklin, like just everybody. King. I just love old music, but I love the new generation music too, like my generation, of course. But I really don't like too much like stuff that everybody likes. Like people like weird stuff to me, like 6ix9ine, and I don't listen to that. I don't listen to the Migos. I ain't even gonna lie, I'm not no Migos listening person. Like people be the Migos, I don't listen to that. What else? I don't really listen to Young Thug. Like, I don't listen to that shit. Like, they be sounding, some songs they got that's cool, like it's catchy. Like Young Thug, his lifestyle song, that was my uncle jam. So to live this here lifestyle, like some songs, but other songs, like I just can't get with them. Like, I don't understand what they be saying. But my favorite rapper right now is G Herbo, of course.
I like G Herbo. G Herbo, my guy. I like G Herbo. He got a lot of charisma. I like him.
Yes, I love him. So I've been following his music since I was in 7th grade. When he the first song I ever heard by him, it was No Limit Niggas. And it was a remix of some song and it wasn't even shit. He was just saying some little shit. But then I heard Kill Shit and I heard some more shit. Y'all don't really hear me though. All his old shit. Like, I love her. Like, everybody know that's my favorite rapper. So
that's crazy though. You started listening to him in 7th grade and
7th grade. I started listening.
He been in the game that long. You 23 now.
That's crazy. Yes. And people, yes. Herb was rapping like he was a grown man when he was 16 years old. Like, people don't know. Like, he's saying stuff that these kids not saying. Like, they not saying like, yeah, I'm a product of my environment, but I'm not trying to be that my whole life. And he acknowledged that at a point in his life, he didn't understand that. He didn't understand that he was, You know, like he didn't understand that it wasn't normal to carry a gun all day. Like but he didn't know because your environment, you're a product of it. When you don't open your eyes to more, and you don't have people, leaders encouraging you to do stuff, you miss out and you fall victim. So he just real big on that, and I love that about him because I'm real big on that too. Like when he's in his music and he talk about stuff, I just see my life and so much scenarios that went on, and I'll be like, I could relate. So I fuck with Herb. Like Herb always got a spot.
So I love the fact that not only is he from Chicago, and not only did he navigate the streets, you know what I mean? Because it takes
Terrortown, because Terrortown was horrible.
Yeah, it take a special.
You couldn't have nothing over East Nice. They was robbing you for it. They was robbing you for it. You couldn't have nothing nice. If they think you had something nice, they was taking it. I remember they made my homie walk home on his bare feet. They took that nigga socks. He had on Nike socks. They took them.
That ain't funny.
They took everything.
Goodness gracious, man. So yeah, I mean him and Bibby, but
yeah.
Herbo in particular, you know, I really gained a level of admiration for him as I saw him mature to the point of, like you said, he started to have some realizations, and then he addressed his mental health. When he health, and you have as many followers as he has, see, that's going to influence some other people to address their mental health, because growing up in the hoods is traumatic.
Exactly, and we don't realize it. We don't realize it ain't normal. And I didn't realize when I get to college and I'm hearing how these kids living, how their parents just send, you complaining, your mama sending you money every week. I got a bag, my mama send me something. She get mad when I ask her for something. So it's like, you see where you come from different. You open your eyes to more. Like, this ain't normal. You ain't supposed to be, you know, struggling. Like, you ain't supposed to be none of that. Like, you supposed to be able to call mom and dad and they come through for you. You're supposed to be able to do all that. So it's just like, it's different when you see where people come from and they don't appreciate what they have, and you appreciate what you do have. It open your eyes for real.
So you saying like you have young people at the HBCU who has parents that are somewhat.
Yeah, they have parents that's doctors and just on top, like, then they have both mom and dad. You have both of your grandparents on both sides. Like, people don't realize how much family is detrimental to a human life. Like, you need your family because you need to know where you come from. Right. Like, I don't know. I only have one grandma. I know one grandma. I don't know no grandfathers, and I only know my mama. And it was crazy. I was doing a family tree in one of my classes, and I couldn't put nothing on my father's side because I don't know anything about him. You feel me? I know pieces, but I don't know him. Like, I met him twice. I met him when I was 7 and when I was 14, and I don't know that man. So it's like, it's crazy. You don't know both sides of your family, so people don't understand. Like, it's important because you don't know who you don't know who you get stuff from. Like, I only know I get this from my mama. Like, I don't know where I get this other stuff from. So it's really like just knowing who you are for real.
Yeah. So yeah, that's right. You know, but you go to an HBCU, you have some students who are a little bit privileged. Then you have you who has a parent that's struggling, but still tries to do the best.
Yes, but doing the best though.
And then you have then you have that other level of students who don't have
nobody at all. That don't have a mama. And I want to speak on one of my homeboys. He's in prison right now for murder. He also went to Alabama State, and I feel so bad. His name was Ivo. I feel so bad because he lost his mom and his dad. He didn't have nobody in the church. You feel me? People at the church took him in. He's from Chicago, from Inglewood. I'm surprised you ain't hear his story. He was a boxer. He came to Alabama State. He did great. I don't know what happened. He ended up killing somebody. He ended up killing somebody. And another dude, Adam, from my school, and I still ain't wrapped my head around this. Like, he was doing so good, Rodney. When I tell you, everybody at school loved him. They was giving him scholarships. He even joined the fraternity, the Iotas. Like, he was doing so good for himself. So when he was wanted for murder and people said he killed somebody, Ivo killed somebody? Like, not this dude. Like, So it's just like his trauma, like you don't never know what somebody really going through. Like he was doing good, but how good was he doing? Like we don't really know. Like he could be portraying this to us because he want people to. He already got a story out. Like they did a story on him and everything.
I remember that.
Everybody
I remember that now. Yeah.
So it was just crazy when that story came out. Like I don't even know what his trial, if he on trial, but that's horrible to get for murder in Montgomery. Like that's horrible. They do them boys so horrible down there, and men. It's innocent people in jail. And I'm not saying he innocent. I don't know the full story, but it's just crazy that he could do that. Like this somebody you see a part of the school. He was on the SGA. This nigga was the treasurer. He was a part of the school, Rodney. I'm telling you. So when that happened, everybody was surprised. Like I know I wasn't still shocked because I just can't. Like I need to know what happened. Like what really happened. Like they say it was over some money. I don't know what happened, man. But it's just a sad case, man. Because he was on a path to doing something right, and he got caught up in some shit that could have been avoided. Some little money, some little what was it like? We may never know. The truth may never come out. So
this is why when I'm dealing with family members, when I'm dealing with people in general, but especially young people, my go-to statement is always the rhetorical question of, what are you doing when nobody's looking?
What's your integrity like?
Yes, you can be an angel in the presence of people, but when you by yourself or when nobody's around, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's man. You know? And
that's real.
Yeah, that boy was fighting. He had to be fighting some demons because you don't kill nobody and then dump their body behind somebody's crib in the woods, like. And then you come back to school and saying like, this boy missing, and you was the last person with him, and you not telling people, like you trying to act like everything good. Like my friend had told me he called her and was like, she from Chicago too. Told me that he had called her and was like, come get me or whatever, like. And I heard the man walked in Walmart with bloody clothes and changed them. What's going on? Like this man really did this? Like this is crazy. Like this somebody, what you doing behind closed doors? Who are you really? You showing us this person, but you could have been so much better than that, man. And you had it. He had everything, like, but he really didn't. Like that. Yeah. What he really wanted, he didn't have. His mom is like, what he really wanted, he didn't have. And when he got to college and probably was getting all that, like. In his story, I remember he said he didn't have a door on his room at home. Like he ain't had no door. Like he used to steal to eat and stuff. So when that church brought him in, I was like, maybe he just, I don't know. It was just too much for him at a point in time. And he just didn't know. It was just too much. Then they said he was abusive to his girlfriend. The story was just crazy, man. So I was just like, I can't believe that. But you got to watch people. You never know what they into.
So this is an example. This is an example of what you said. Like, if you don't have family, you don't have like at least a decent upbringing. Because what is a proper upbringing? So at least a decent upbringing and a support system, family, people that basically instill certain principles in you, right? Because if the church adopts one of us right now today, that doesn't mean that they're going to instill the principles of family, right? The real principles. So we just never know.
Yeah, you just never know with that.
Yeah. So anyway, let's move on. How do you presently view the world as we come up toward the end of our podcast?
This tough question. I just feel the world needs some healing, man. It's a mess. I don't even know where to start. Like the world trouble. It need healing for real. It need love. It need leaders. It really need leaders because a lot of people just following and behind whatever and don't even know who they really is. They just want to be the next this, the next that, instead of just being the next you, just being you. So I just wish the world had, more leaders, more people just willing to see change, not just this how it is, this how it's always gonna be. No, it could change. It just got to start within you, within your family. Like they said, you start small, start where you can, and then, work your way up.
So just let me say this, Kayla, and I do say this to a lot of our guests because the whole impetus behind this podcast in general is to show a different side of Chicago. And I just want you to know that we're proud of you. I'm personally proud of you. We wish you the best. Continue learning, continue growing. Let your ambition shine. Never dim your light in the presence of those who can't see in the brightness. Find those who can see in the brightness of your light. You know what I mean? Because too many of us fall victim to that. Just be you. Just feel free to be you. It's okay. You know what I mean? Because if you be somebody else, you'll never be comfortable trying to be somebody else.
And I was doing that for a while, and that's why I'm so comfortable with who I am in my life right now, because for a long time I wasn't. So right now I'm screaming from the rooftops, be you, you'll feel so much better about yourself, about your life, and you'll just learn so much, for real.
Yes. So this podcast has a crowd favorite, and we always end on this segment. Mm-hmm. And in this segment of the podcast, we afford the guest opportunity to tell a story. So the segment of the podcast is called Bring Some Weed. I got a story to tell. Smoke.
I like that part.
So now this is your turn. This is your time to tell a story of your choice. No matter what it is. You have the stage.
Okay, the story of my choice. Let's see what I want to talk about.
I know you got a lot of great stories.
Yeah, I do. That's why I'm trying to just find one that resonated in me, but it's just so much. I'm trying to see a good one that I want to tell that'll inspire or something. Well, not even inspire, maybe touch you in a way that you ain't know you need to be touched.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I could start with I guess I could just talk about myself, my life, coming out my story, since I was touching on that, being myself. All my life, my mom, she is a girly girl. She is the girl's girl. She a AKA picket green, all that. And for a long time, I was in her shadows. Everybody was like, "You're so pretty, Kayla." This, that, you wear dresses, do this, wear nail polish, wear makeup, do this. I know you got all the boys, da da da. And I never really, I've been a little boy my whole life, ever since I could. My mama told me the first thing I told her I wanted to be when I grew up was a basketball player. And that's just what I wanted to do. I wanted to be that. I wanted to play basketball. I didn't want to play dance or do dresses or none of that. And for a long time, my mom would say she didn't, but she forced me to wear dresses, just to be a girl. And just because I am a girl, but that's just not, I didn't want to be girly. I didn't like dresses. I want to wear a t-shirt with some basketball shorts. I don't want to wear no dress. I don't want to wear my hair down and with certain stuff I just didn't like. And my mom, she was my mom, and she bought my clothes and she did this. So I just gotta accept, I gotta wear the hoop and rings. I gotta wear the dresses and stuff. Cause my mom, you ain't wearing jeans and gym shoes everywhere. But I'll let you know one thing. She always let me get my gym shoes. Shoes. But that lady made me get some sandals. She still made me get some sandals. But she always let me wear my gym shoes. She always let me be myself. She always let me play basketball. But she always wanted, deep down, she just wanted a little her. She wanted a girly girl, a little AKA like her. And I could never live up to that. Still to this day, she tried to make me wear girly stuff. And I just be like, "Ma, I don't like tight clothes. I don't want to wear lipstick. I don't like my hair this way." It's just not what I like to do. And it's she's got so much better at accepting it and just this my baby. I love her, who she is, and I can't change her. This her life. She's accepted that, but it's still times I can see her dang, why you don't want to wear this? And I understand, I get it. This probably what you dreamed of. You didn't, to be matching with your daughter. I'll be an AKA like you, but it's just, that's your life, Ma. That's you. That's your life. So you do you and I'ma do me, and we gonna love each other, and we might get into it. We might not like the same stuff, but I love my mama 100%. And this story is just to tell people, like, never be afraid to be yourself. Like, I was afraid to be myself for a long time because I didn't want to disappoint my mom. Like, I really, you care about your parents, what they thinking, how other people see them, like all her friends, So, it's probably just changing. They be like, oh, well, what's Kayla? She don't got a boyfriend. She knows, but she's so pretty. It's not about being pretty. Like, it's about who I am,
Sometimes it's about them minding their business too.
Yeah, like, y'all this is my life. Y'all don't gotta live it. Who I do, what I do, that don't got nothing to do with y'all. Like, just know that I'm a good person, and I handle my business, and I don't bother nobody if they don't bother me.
Right.
So that's just what it is. This story, just be yourself. Don't be afraid to be who you is, even if it defies everything. Even if what people think is right or whatever. Like, just be you. You got to live your life. Nobody can live it for you. Like, you got to be the one walking around in your skin every day. You don't want to be walking around being something you're not. So and I always be like, just be myself. But I had a hard time at doing that because everybody always just look at me and just assume that I'm just this girl. Like, I'm just like, no, I'm the complete opposite of what you think of. Like, when you hear me open my mouth, you be, damn, like, I didn't even know you sounded like that. Like, people say that all the time. So it's just like, keep them guessing, be yourself.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Kayla, it's been great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With you and everything. And, the world will know who Kayla is. They already know, but they're really about to know now.
Yes, sir. I'm coming.
We just appreciate you. And like I said, we're proud of you. And we're going to conclude this episode of Chicago's Intellectuals Podcast. Rod Allen.
Appreciate you for having me, Rod.
Take care, Kayla.
I will.
All right.